In this episode, let's begin. Hello viewer, welcome to another adventure. This adventure takes place at a temple that's not more than 5 minutes away from my house. I hope I say this right, but Wat Pungwari. So once you pour into the temple grounds, you're just presented with a ton of food, lights, and sound. A lot of PA systems that are just blasting at level 11. It was very difficult for me to talk, even to my wife who's just standing right next to me. That's one reason why I'm doing the voiceover after the fact. So they did have carnival-like games. Here's like the pop gun, and then to the left of it are the balloon darts. This temple didn't have as many games that you could play compared to the other one. So this is more food-centric versus the other one was more game-centric. There are the dancers that are getting ready to do their thing. We'll visit them later. And food, and more food. This temple, you really wanted to come with an empty stomach because there was just so much food, so many choices, and some of the vendors were selling the same thing. So if you passed a stall and were like, hey, I should have picked that up, well, 5 stalls down, you'd have the same choice available. So this is the kids zone area. They had a little area where you can paint, some ceramic pieces of art, a bounce house, and they actually had 2 trampolines. So this temple is more what I would feel as a traditional temple. So here's a very ornate building that they have. I'm sure the other temple has this. I'm just not familiar with it as much, and I wasn't able to see it. So once we squeeze past the bounce house, you're presented with this beautiful gold, large Buddha statue. It's not the largest Buddha statue I have seen in Thailand. I think there was one outside of Lopburi province that was super huge. So here my wife is making merit.
What are you doing,
You could see her kind of hop skip there. I think one of the mosquitoes was trying to bite her. But we'll light candles and incense and make a small donation, pray to Buddha and family and friends that have passed on. So here's a side profile view of the temple. Very beautiful. I didn't walk inside the building, but you can see a very beautiful Buddha statue. So I was a little concerned. I was like, oh no, this is another rat going into a tube type of game, but actually it was a dice game. A lot of people kept swarming. We popped in and out a few times throughout the night, and it was just totally full. There's my wife asking me for some money. She didn't bring her wallet. And luckily I had stopped at the ATM, so this is perfect. So a lot of the money that we donate, whether it be making merit or a lot of the carnival type games like this dice game, a lot of that money goes to the temple, so it's all to a good cause. So I don't know how much we spent. It could have been like 40 baht worth of cards. And yes, spoiler alert, these were not the winning numbers, but still fun. So it seems like we have a lot of chances to win, but that would be a no. So here's the prize. You'll notice this prize is wrapped in a black plastic bag. You'll know in a second here because it's an adult beverage, magic juice. So this would have been nice. We are actually going to do like a house blessing this weekend, so it would have been a nice thing to have for our guests. So they actually called me to throw the dice. So there's dice 1, dice 2, unfortunately it was only the top of my head. Dice 3, I thought we had a winner, but that would be a big fat no. So while we were throwing dice, the band fired up and the live dancing was ongoing. Again, the music was so loud, you could feel the bass just pushing into your chest. I'd have to scream and yell at my wife, not in rage, but just to try to communicate with her because the music's so loud. There are a lot of people that were camped out on the grass watching this, so very popular area. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner a gentleman in a pink shirt. He was actually at the other temple dancing with the ladies. He would actually pair up with one of the dancers, and he must do this as a hobby and often because he knew a lot of the dance moves. So I call him a professional dancer. You will see him later on the stage. So the ladies, they do 3 or 4 songs all by themselves, obviously with the band. And then after that, they open it up to everybody to actually do dancing. So they do free dancing, and they also have like paid dancing. And paid, I think it's like 10 baht, maybe 20 baht. And again, the money would go to the temple. I'm sure it's on the sign that's in the front of the temple as to why this event is ongoing. You know, what's being celebrated. I know the other temple, it was an anniversary party for the temple. I don't know if that's the same here. I'll have to use Google Translate on the sign to see exactly why this is on, you know, what the event's all about. So we actually bumped into the crew that hangs over at the neighbor's house. So a bunch of good people. The guy in the red shirt, he's working on his master's degree. The other guy that's to the left of him, he's a software engineer and actually works at the hospital. Compared to the crew of dancers at the other temple, these dancers are a lot better. You can tell they've done a lot of practicing. This is a little faster number, and you can see those little flag banners at the top left side of the scaffolding for the stage. It's starting to shake, so it's a nice little bounce there. So here's the free dance. You've got old people, young people, you see the professional dancers paired up. That particular move, if I tried that, I would break my back and I'd be out for a week. And everybody's having a great time. I like to see the little kids there in the center. And there's a large crowd that's watching, so if you're a bad dancer, everybody knows who you are. So they did have a few vendors that were selling little trinkets and things. Here it looks like we're buying hair ties, but it actually is going to be for our puppy. So we tried another round of the dice game and ran into the crew. So they're going to try their luck, and so are we. We didn't spend as much money this round, but you know, it's all in fun. I don't know if you saw it, but the black covered plastic bag box to the left upper corner, I think that's the same family that won during our round. Alright, the dice is thrown. Unfortunately, we've only got one card, I think, starting with 4. And nobody won. Except, looks like the same family. They won. I don't know what exactly they were able to take away. I'm always mesmerized by the lights that they set up, all the different colors and such. And you can see that scaffolding's holding up that light display. There's a scaffolding at a temple that's at our other house in Pitchett Province that again, same thing, mesmerized by the twinkly lights. I set up my cell phone at the base of the scaffolding, pointed upwards to see if I can get a fancy little shot. And the guy comes over, a Thai guy, he's like, hey, no, saying stuff, loud music. Again, I can't hear him, he's waving. I thought, oh, what a friendly guy. So I waved back thinking, cool, you know, this is why I like Thailand. Well, it turns out the guy was trying to save my life. My family comes over and it's like, hey, you not see the sign? I'm like, what sign? It's like right underneath me. It's like, hey, beware. You know, I guess there's some grounding issues with the electricity, so they didn't want you to touch the scaffolding. So it could have been an early night for me, but luckily it wasn't. Did I mention food? I'm not sure if I talked about food. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Food. So again, if you're hungry, this was the place to go. 10 baht, 20 baht, 30 baht. You know, for $1, you can have a nice meal. $2, $5, $10, you could feed your whole family. It always amazes me that every one of these vendors has some electrical outlet so they can plug in all their lights. So there's cables strewn all over the grass. Where they end up, I don't know. I know at the other temple they had a truck that had some large generators on them. I don't think the generators were running, but that's where a lot of the cables terminated. Again, like food everywhere. Just everywhere. There's a crowd. We actually left before the band had stopped. So by the time actually we got home, we could still hear the music. It's that loud. So this little vendor here, he was selling a really delicious drink. We ended up getting strawberry flavor. We actually came back the following night and I had to visit this vendor again and go for the strawberry drink. Not exactly sure what he's looking for, but he finds it, I believe, under the tissue. So this drink, obviously the main ingredient is ice. I have never gotten sick with any of the ice. I know a lot of people are paranoid. Like, don't put ice in your drink, don't put ice, you know. But a lot of these people, they don't make the ice at their house, they buy it from a vendor. You know, again, I don't know what type of filtration system the vendors have. but it's all like professionally made ice. Little brain freeze there. That drink actually hit me a few times with brain freeze, but it was worth it because there's a lot of strawberry concentrate in it. So this temple, again, I don't know what they do at the other temple. They've actually got a couple fields set up where they have different sporting events. The last time we came, which I have video, I don't think I've processed any of it, they actually had a volleyball game, and some of the teams were representing Chiang Mai. So Chiang Mai is like an 8 or 9 hour drive north of where this is. So there was some serious competition going on and people coming all over Thailand to participate in these games. Where these teams are from, I'm not sure. It's always fun to see people doing the exercise. And again, the part that you're not seeing or feeling rather is the heat from the night. So it was a fairly humid night. I had to immediately when I got home take a shower because I was just covered in sweat. So this is actually towards the front of the temple, actually where the gate is where we came in. So here my wife is making a small donation to a group or foundation that helps people out with funeral costs. So I know it's kind of a morbid subject to cover, but there are some people that just don't have the funds to, buy a coffin. So here we are, we're making a donation for that. There's that thing I need to take to Google Translate to find out what this event is. So there you have it, Wat Kung Wari. A lot of motorbikes set up. This isn't even the entirety of all the motorbikes. There's another lot where people were parked, and there were so many of them, we didn't even know where we parked our motorbike. Oh, the wife found it. Motorbikes are very popular in these parts of the country. Well, we're off to home, so I hope you enjoyed this adventure. See you next time. Thanks for watching.